Let's obey the speed limit, shall we? Yeah, so kind of a weird thing to be buying on Amazon, right? Give me a minute and I will explain myself. It smells like one of those pool, like inflatable pool toys or something. Alright guys, so here's what's going on. I asked a fellow maker on the tube, Apocalypse Pyro is the name of his channel. Links down everywhere links are. He's really, really small right now, like, I think he only has 30 some subscribers. But he builds some cool stuff, makes armor, mainly, I think, and does a pretty good job at it. Anyway, I thought it'd make for a fun video if me and him both made a weaponized gauntlet. Meaning, some sort of armor mounted on your arm that also had an offensive weapon built into it. The limit for this is the sky. Anything you want, I mean, taser, knife, gun, sword, whatever each of us can come up with, we're both gonna do a video on it. Obviously, this is my video. Yeah, so what I've decided to build is the classic armored gauntlet. Meaning, you know, you've got your big forearm thing, armored, articulated fingers, etc. My offensive weapon is going to be these big, long Wolverine claws mounted onto the top of the bracer part and extending out over the fist 5 inches or so. So that's what we're building today. Let's get started. Alright, so I've got all the materials we're going to be needing for this gauntlet, I think. We all know how that goes, right? But the only thing left that we're going to need that I don't have right now is the actual leather gloves. Hey, Squishy. And for those, I'm going to have to go pick those up at Harbor Freight. So let's go ahead and head up there. What are you doing? Oh. Hey Siri, navigate to Harbor Freight in Pearl.
Getting directions to Harbor Freight, Jules.
I love this lady. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, templates are the hardest, most difficult part of building armor. It's after 2 o'clock right now. I've been working on them all day long, and I'm not even finished yet. So yeah, how about that? Cutting and drawing and cutting and drawing and test fitting and cutting and drawing and discarding and over and over and over again. It's just a lot of work. I'm actually going to have the templates in the description down below, so go ahead and look at those. I think I'm going to have the templates for everything except for the actual arm piece, because that's too big to fit on my scanner. But because I'm such a nice guy, I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the templates. Stop texting me, Luke Ivy. Shoot, I parked too close. Okay. Okay, so these gloves are not the gloves that I wanted to get. They apparently do not sell my favorite welding gloves there anymore, which is a stinking bummer. They used to sell these really nice, super lightweight, thin, like lightly insulated gloves that fit your fingers just beautifully. Most of the cheap gloves are huge and bulky and you can barely move your fingers and they're terrible. But they used to sell these really nice ones that were like $8 a pair, and oh, they were just so great. And I was going to use some of those, but no, apparently they discontinued those. Which means I'm going to have to pay $15 for a good pair of welding gloves from now on. I also picked up this thing, which basically it's like a handheld sheet metal brake. This is going to be super valuable, and it was only like $8. So it's 3 o'clock now. I need to go return something to Home Depot real quick, and then we are going to be getting back home. Why is it a depot? There's a T on the end of depot. It should be depot. Home Depot. Well, that was easy enough. Now I got $15 to spend on something else.
Welcome to McDonald's. Would you like to try one of our main ribs today?
Could I just get a Large Coke. All right.
Thank you, baby.
Thank you. This whole day feels like I've done absolutely nothing, which I mean, it isn't true. The template and stuff needed to be done. And I needed to get the gloves, but it's like 4:15 now. So that's about it for today, guys. Stay tuned for what happens tomorrow. Cut to tomorrow. Alright, it is the next day. I've got the templates completely finished now. It took forever. Go ahead and go down to the description down below. I've got a link to the PDF where you can print them out. They are not perfect. They're all hand-drawn. I've made some mistakes, I think, that I'm going to have to end up fixing. So yeah, you're going to have to use your brain. But it's going to be a heck of a lot easier starting from my template than starting completely from scratch. So yeah, you'll thank me later. Now I'm going to cut out my templates and lay them down onto the metal, trace them out so I know where to cut. After cutting them out, the next logical step is going to be bending the finger plates so they actually fit together like finger plates, not like flat pieces of metal as you see them now. I already know that this tool here is going to be invaluable for doing this. Stick it on the edge of the table. And that works wonderfully. There's a finger. Okay, now these pieces I made to go over these breaks in the knuckles because when you actually close your fist all the way, what happens is you have these big gaps where your knuckles are, like this. So you can see if I bend my finger into more of a fist, you have these huge gaps. So these pieces are supposed to just go over the top like this and close that gap so your knuckles are still protected when you close your hand. This glove is really ugly. I'm just gonna say that out loud. White is kind of nice for certain things, but not for a really cool medieval gauntlet. So I'm going to try to dye it. I don't have any leather dye, so I'm gonna try to dye it with some wood stain. Okay, so that's gonna work, so sweet. It's hard to get a good crease with this thing, but let me just say right now, this thing is worth its weight in salt or something. So this piece is gonna go right here, basically as the knuckle guard bit. Butamus. Okay. That's pretty much how it's gonna go. Okay, now here's the template I've got for the bracer portion of the thing. As I said, you don't have this template because it's too big to fit on the scanner, but as you can see, it's super, super simple. You ought to be able to do it in 2 minutes just with your arm. And anyway, what we've got to do is make it fit over the bottom plate on the glove portion. That's the transition plate. This one's going to fit over it like this. So I'm going to start by just marking this thing out in the middle of this sign. Alright guys, that's where we're going to end the video for today. Thanks so much for watching, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you go check out Apocalypse Pyro's YouTube channel. Show him some love. Check out the video he's doing for this collab. We're both building a weaponized gauntlet. This is part 1 of my version. Go check out his video. I'll have a link. Is it there? Or there? I can't ever remember. And in the description. So go check that out. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss part 2 of this build where we finish this gauntlet up and do some serious testing. Thanks so much for watching. See you then. Jake out.